So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's go. So first up, let's talk about Mauricio Umansky and his new alleged girlfriend. So this is from People magazine. It says Mauricio Umansky is getting to know designer Alexandria Wolfe amid separation from Kyle Richards. Umansky, whose separation from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star was announced in July, recently jetted off to Aspen, where he was photographed out and about with Wolfe. Mauricio Umansky is spending time with a new woman amid his separation from Kyle. On Thursday, a source confirmed to People that Umansky and influencer Alexander Wolfe are getting to know each other. Mauricio and Alexander have been enjoying each other's company upon meeting in Aspen, the source says. They've become good friends. Side note, people love to use that word, good friends, when they're talking about an alleged romantic interest. Don't forget, Kyle and Morgan are allegedly, quote, really good friends. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay. Now, Alexandra, who is 31 years old, mind you, that is actually older than Morgan. So Kyle is 54. I think Mauricio is 53, 54. Morgan, I think, just turned 29. And this girl, Alexandra, is 31. So both Kyle and Mauricio, who are in their 50s, are dating people who are 29 and 31. Just throwing that out there. Or allegedly dating, put it that way. Who is from New York and now lives in Los Angeles, spending the holidays in Aspen. In the new year, Alexandra, who previously worked as a couture designer, is planning to launch her first fashion line. She is an accomplished designer, and they respect each other's entrepreneurial spirit, says the source. Now, I have my thoughts on this, okay? I'm going to get through this article, but I'm going to tell you what I think is really going on. Mauricio, meanwhile, separated from 54-year-old Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star in July after tying the knot in 1996. However, following the news, the 53-year-old real estate mogul denied rumors of a divorce. This week, Kyle and Mauricio posted vacation photos from separate locations. On Tuesday, the Halloween actress limited the comments on her Instagram account and uploaded a photo of herself in Punta Mita, Mexico, standing on the beach smiling as she watched the sunset. Since then, she has turned off her comments completely. Now, Kyle is in Mexico with Faye Resnick. Mauricio is in Aspen doing the absolute most with these, influencer YouTubers. And if you want to know what they're doing, here it is. They are in Aspen, living their best lives, doing photo and content shoots. These influencers, Layla Pons and this Alexander girl, Alex, they're out here in towels and champagne and taking photos, and he's the videographer. I'm going to tell you what I think is really going on, but this is what they're trying to put out there, that they're just having fun and spotted in Aspen and all of this. I also heard from shout out to Heather McDonald. She said that Mauricio's camp is claiming that these influencers, who they have millions of followers, so they do have some bank, they have some money, are also his real estate agent clients. And it's not salacious or romantic. But People magazine is saying that they're getting to know each other. I have my own take on this, which is neither of those two things. And I'll tell you what I think is really going on in a second. Okay. Meanwhile, the Dancing with the Stars alum shared footage of himself far away from his wife ahead of Christmas. Ski in the morning, hikes in the afternoons reflect perfect day, he wrote on a selfie that appeared on his Instagram story. He was dressed for the cold in a snowy wilderness joined by one of the family dogs. Last month, People received an exclusive sneak peek at Umansky's appearance on the Skinny Confidential Him and Her Show podcast, where he discussed his relationship status with Richards and the desire for people to not intrude on his personal life. Well, that's a problem, Mauricio, when for over the last decade, you have branded and monetized and leveraged yourself as a family businessman on a reality television show. So you've made your millions of dollars off of the back of your family brand. So now that your family brand is falling apart, you can't ask for your privacy. Now, I don't mean for people to go crazy. Everybody, I don't care how famous you are, should have safety and privacy in, like, from safety and boundaries ways. Yes, 100%. What I mean is, like, y'all can't be asking for privacy for people on social media and stuff, talking about the gossip and who's dating who and who's sleeping with who, when that is how you built your entire empire. It cuts both ways. You made your millions off of this family man image. Now that you're being exposed for allegedly cheating and the demise of your marriage, you can't all of a sudden expect privacy. Boundaries, yes. Safety, yes. But this type of privacy, I don't think so, homie. When I know what I'm doing with my marriage, I will let you guys all know. Until then, everybody can take a hike and F off, he said. Calm down, Mauricio. Go take a puff, take an edible, and chill out. Anyway, regarding headlines and comments, he added that he has a no need to read the BS because he knows what's happening in the couple separation. Well, you just contradicted yourself. You just said, when I know what I'm doing in my marriage, I'll let you guys know. So you're saying you don't know. Now you're saying you don't need to read headlines and comments because you know what's happening in your separation. You sound confused. You sound high. What's going on, Mauricio? Get it together, homie. The father of four also gave advice on how their marriage has lasted nearly 30 years. Being creative, go find things to do together. Be creative and do different things, he said. I'm not trying to lose my positivity, but I'm trying to stop the wall that the positivity creates. Boy, bye. Anyway, the article goes on to talk about them. Now, this is what I actually think is going on. And I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. I think this whole situation with Mauricio and this Alexander girl and Leila Pons, I think this is one big PR campaign. I think that both of their teams got together, very, very similar to Morgan and Kyle. I think both of their PR teams got together and decided to do all of these stunts for likes, clicks, and views and all of that. Do I think Mauricio and this girl are smashing? Is there a sexual component there? You know what? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's like, hey, whatever, I can do what I want. Maybe she's like happy and willing to do it. Sure. But I think the way all of these people got together, I think at the very back end, it's a business deal because all of these sound like sponsored posts. He says, some fun shenanigans about to occur. You'll have to, and he literally says this. Mauricio, 53-year-old Mauricio, says, some fun shenanigans about to occur. You'll have to go to their gram to see what they are up to. And then he tags the two of them in the post. This is a sponsored post. It's just a hashtag ad, hashtag partnership, hashtag sponsored content. You see what I'm saying? I really think that this is all a back end business deal. Not to mention in the People magazine, all of a sudden, this girl, Alexandria Wolfe, who for all intents and purposes is an influencer, but now she's being positioned as a fashion designer. And in the new year, she's launching her first couture fashion line. My Nene voice, which I love to use, do we think it's a coincidence? A coincidence that this influencer is now trying to launch a career as a fashion designer is all of a sudden hanging out with Mauricio Umansky and they are tagging each other and telling people to go visit each other's grams now that she has a new project that she wants to launch. I don't think it's a coincidence. Okay? And they're like, oh, shout out to our filmer, our videographer, because he was taking the film of our content. We had the best video maker, tag at Umansky18. Now, I work and I have done a lot of social media influence, more so in the past, not so much this past year. I took a big break. And when I tell you these are sponsored posts, these are sponsored posts. I think that, again, in my opinion, because I don't want anybody coming to sue me, this is just my opinion. I think that their camps got together for PR. I think Mauricio wanted some type of big up or whatever when it came to him sort of being embarrassed in the public eye by Kyle running around with Morgan. And I think that these two ladies probably have the same, team, whether they're their agents or publicists, and they probably have projects like mentioned in the People article that they're launching. And even though these two influencers have millions and millions of followers, they're still going to want to tap into that Bravo audience. I don't care if you have 100 million followers, you want 200 million followers. And they know that being seen with Mauricio Umansky, having him tag them and doing all these shenanigans, like he said, it's going to open them up to a completely different audience base. Maybe these two want to do a reality show. Maybe they want to be on Bravo or they want to do their own Netflix reality show the way Mauricio does. This smells to me like very much PR relationship. Maybe smashing and hooking up is a fun byproduct, but I don't think that these people met organically and he's just happened to get to know them in Aspen. I think all of this was very much pre-planned, set up by their teams. I wouldn't be surprised if these girls get their own reality show. I wouldn't be surprised if Mauricio might be producing it or something like that. The same exact way that Kyle is doing a documentary on Morgan. That, the same way that Morgan, in my opinion, her team clearly wanted to tap into a completely new audience with Bravo. Because these girls may be influencers, millions of followers, but the Bravo world were not talking about these girls until they partnered with Mauricio. So I think this is nothing but a PR type setup situation. It just so happens that there's all of these paparazzis in Aspen. You know what I mean? It just so happens the paparazzi are there. It just so happens that these two influencers with millions of followers and fashion lines are hanging out with a 53-year-old about to be divorcee dude. Come on. These girls are 31 and 30 years old. They just so happen to bump into Mauricio. This is nothing but a PR stunt. Nothing but a PR stunt. And literally, they should got somebody else to write these captions. He literally says, some fun shenanigans about to occur. You'll have to go to their gram to see what they're up to. If that doesn't sound like a TikTok, Instagram sponsored post, I don't know what is. Do you think Mauricio in his entire life has ever said the word shenanigans? Do you think Mauricio in his entire life has ever referred to Instagram as the gram? His intern, his assistant wrote that caption, trying to sound cool. You see what I'm saying? I think that he's trying to tap into their influencer space, all of the girlies that follow them. And I think that they are trying to tap into the Bravo space / even Netflix space. Because don't forget, Mauricio has buying Beverly Hills on Netflix. This is nothing but a PR relationship. It's as real as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That's what I think. They might be hooking up because you know what? Like they're young, they're hot, whatever. Get it as long as it's safe and it's consensual, knock yourself out. I really don't care about that. Live your life. As long as it's safe and consensual, have fun, boo-boo. But all of this stunts, get out of here. And this is a hot take. I actually think, and it takes a lot for me to feel bad for Mauricio because he's such a fraudster, in my opinion. But this is a hot take. I actually think Mauricio is sad. I think that he wants his marriage back. I think he wants the Kyle that he knew before back. I don't think he wants to get divorced. And I think that he is sad. I think he's sad. I think all of this stuff is very performative. I think there's probably a contract in place. But I think if you actually look at his face, I think he's actually sad. Because I don't care how you slice it, the demise, and we clown Kyle all the time and we clown Mauricio, all in good fun. But at the end of the day, from like a human perspective, when you have shared 27 years of your life with someone, good or bad, you have children with this person, you have business with this person, there is a grief to losing that. There is a sadness to the demise of that. I stand by the fact that I don't think they'll actually get divorced. I give it 3 to 6 months before they reconcile. Maybe 9 months, depending on how the PR machine goes. Because, I mean, 27 years, regardless of their weirdness, there's a grief to that. And I do think he's sad. Even he has all this performative stuff going on. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next